Long-term relationships and marriages with dismissive avoidance can be a very lonely experience. You essentially get a roommate. And no matter how hard you try to rebuild connection, it's met with resistance and stonewalling. Emotional intimacy, non-existent. Physical intimacy, non-existent, or robotic if it even happens at all. Why is this? Dismissive avoidance emotionally withdraw with each advancing stage in commitment in a relationship. And that's because commitment triggers their fears of rejection. It all goes to their childhood where they were on the receiving end of profound, consistent childhood emotional neglect. Growing up in households where you don't talk about feelings and where their own feelings were invalidated, rejected, dismissed, often having a controlling, narcissistic parent that was not nurturing, but very demanding. So what happens is the dismissive, avoidant child grows up to feel defective and unlovable. They personalize that neglect and they come to feel that their emotions are unwelcome and unsafe. So they learn to emotionally suppress. And that wound of shame, that defectiveness, is why they feel unsafe with emotional closeness. Because their fear that largely lies in the subconscious, although some are consciously aware of it, is that if I lower my walls and I let my partner in, my partner's going to figure out I'm defective and they're going to reject me. Now, this actually factors into commitment. When you commit to somebody, it's an unspoken expectation that you can't have walls up with a person that you're committed to, especially if it's a deep level. You have to be vulnerable if you're committed to somebody. And since vulnerability and no walls means rejection to a dismissive avoidant, therefore commitment means rejection. It means abandonment. So with each stage of commitment, from boyfriend, girlfriend, to engaged, marriage, children, buying a house, each advancing stage, the stakes become higher. The deeper the commitment, meaning the more vulnerability expected, the more closeness expected, and it feels deeply unsafe to their nervous system. So to protect themselves, they withdraw emotionally, creating more and more and more emotional distance. And the physical intimacy usually stops too, because physical intimacy promotes emotional intimacy. So you end up getting a roommate. And it's a very lonely experience because you want your spouse to be your partner, but they're just not there for you. They're physically there, they're not emotionally there. All you can do is hold your boundaries and let them know what your needs and expectations are. And if they're not willing to meet you where you are, it might be time to step back and reevaluate the marriage.